Florida, and New York City, out of the blue corner.
I'm a physician certified by YouTube, so you can trust here.
And out of the red corner.
I'm trying to transition from casual to hardcore. I've been in the body of a casual for way too long.
Congratulations! UFC.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, we're here. We're here. No overlay. We're making it happen. Let's have a hand, everybody. We're back. We are back. And we're just happy to be here. We're talking about UFC again. Oh, there we go. The overlay's here. Look, it looks nice. Look at the place. It's back. What's going on, my friend? This is Dr. Jared Vasquez, also known as the Octagon Doctor. And over here, we have Universal. We got a guy that works for the History Channel, that works for, I could say,
very nice flex.
What can you Disney, next project, Marvel movies. We don't know what the roof is right now, okay?
We really don't. We really don't.
So that's how it is. So let's talk about UFC. Let's talk about this guy right here. Exciting.
Right.
These fights, first of all, not as big as the last 2 weekends, right? Let's be honest. But for us that are consummate analysts of the sport, this guy right here is super exciting prospect. In is it the heavyweight division? It's 205, right?
No, it's heavyweight division.
True. Heavyweight division.
This guy, we'll talk about this because this gentleman of 31 years of age, 6'3.5", and a pure physical athletic beast he could be easy a light heavyweight if he wanted to do like a grueling weight cut. But tonight,
absolutely.
On Saturday night, nevertheless, he'll be fighting against Jairzinho Rozenstruik in the heavyweight because, as you know, Jairzinho would have to cut like 2 legs to make weight in 205. Not body.
Jairzinho Rozenstruik. I mean, he's well known by putting a cleft lip on Alistair Overeem, and also well known to be the first guy that got a video on my channel above 250,000 views. So thank you, Jairzinho. Let's give you a round of applause right here. Thank you, my brother, for that.
But wait, Jared. What? Tell us a little bit more. How is it that he made you pop? He made you.
No, he made my channel pop because he was losing a fight miserably to Alistair Overeem, who was controlling him on the ground back in the day. And Alistair Overeem, it looked like he was cruising to a decision. And in the last 10 seconds of the fight, I believe it was a five. I like to say it was a 5-rounder, but it was a grueling fight. Jairzinho stood up from the ground, walked Alistair Overeem down, and planted a right hand on his mouth, not on the forehead, on his mouth, and split open his lip completely. I made a video of it right after, quickly, like I do with my precision and my quickness in editing prowess. And the video just went viral, and I got almost 250,000 views on that. And maybe 1,000 followers, something like that.
Wow.
800 to 1,000 followers. So it was crazy. So Jairzinho has a space in my heart always. I mean, he's a great fighter, great striker. He's been a glory kickboxer, and he has great striking. His career has been, a little bit up and down. It hasn't been upwards. He's coming of 2 losses against top guys, Alexander Volkov and Curtis Blades. He beat Sakai. Then he had a defeat against Cyril Gane Jr. He beat Dos Santos, but he had he got blasted out of the ring by Francis Ngannou. So he hasn't had a good, sustainable streak of fights under his belt. And I think, it's in the heavyweights, it's hard, man. It's hard to weave together a significant string of victories. And now, everybody is re-energized. Francis Ngannou is out of the UFC forever. And John Jones is the top dog now, so everybody's like, oh, everybody can breathe that a giant beast like Ngannou's out, and John Jones, which he's a beast in his own way, but a little bit smaller, and perhaps they see him as a little bit beatable, and it injected a fresh new sense into the weight class. So everybody's kind of everybody wants to mount their win streaks, and that's where Jairzinho stands. But in his way is Almeida. Like, you started saying that he's a physical specimen, but where do you see Almeida in his UFC career?
I see Almeida, if he overcomes the hurdles he has ahead of him, which he very well could, because he is not only an athletic specimen, as I was saying, but he's also very freaking talented. A consummated Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner, a guy that can crack due to his dynamism and strength. I definitely think he is definitely an up-and-comer in the division. Also, he's only 31 yet, even though he looks like he's been around the block. He's only 31, so for a heavyweight,
let's be honest,
that's young.
He looks like he smokes a pack of cigarettes a day.
He's a macho. He's a man. He's a grown man.
He's grizzled. He's grizzled.
He is pretty grizzled, and so yeah, I think he's got what it takes. He also is a breeze of fresh air in the division. We have a lot of oldies. We have a lot of these guys like Jairzinho, Rozenstruik, like Tai Tuivasa. These guys that have been around for a minute, that have been winning some fights with lower tier opponents, but whenever they faced like the real heat, they were crumbling down. We saw so it's good to see like these up and coming new heavyweights that have a lot of skill and a lot of potential, and to see them throw down against a veteran like Jairzinho, whom I love, but at the same time, for me, it's kind of he's on the on the decline of his career. I mean, the guy, even though he comes from a victory, but I mean, he comes from a victory from another guy, Chris Dacus. How do we call him again?
Chris Dacus.
Dacus, and he actually messed him up real good in the first round. But still, once again, Chris Dacus, he's not top level in that division. Now he's got a young, hungry, blasting opponent, because remember, good old Jailton Almeida is undefeated in the UFC. So it's one of those fights of the veteran, potentially in decline guy against the up-and-comer that's ready to bite, and bite hard,
Yeah, absolutely. And Almeida is leaps and bounds statistically above Jairzinho, although Jairzinho has more experience in the kickboxing world. Jailton Almeida in his UFC fights has, his striking is phenomenal. He almost doubles the significant strikes landed per minute. He has a greater striking accuracy, and he absorbs less strikes. And here is the kicker. Here is the factor that I think is going to be the most important when we're analyzing this fight. Almeida has, and this is great, 6.73 takedowns per 15 minutes with a takedown accuracy of 70%. Yep. So we're going to see there. It's no surprise if Alistair Overeem was able to take down Jairzinho. Almeida is going to take. It's not if, it's when he's going to take down Jairzinho, and he's going to be effective laying down ground and pound and putting submission. They call him the Brazilian Dagestani for a reason. So he was in the Contender Series,
I didn't know that.
That's not his nickname. That's not his nickname. But when he was in the Contender Series, he was. They were calling him the Brazilian Dagestani because his wrestling, he utilizes absolutely all the factors, all the techniques that the Dagestani wrestlers use to keep the people on the ground, and that's what makes Dagestani wrestlers great. It's not getting the takedown; it's keeping people down, because freestyle wrestlers can take people down at will, no problem.
True.
Greco wrestlers can do the same, but can you keep your opponents on the ground? The Dagestanis can't, and Almeida does the same thing. The Dagestani handcuffs, the lacing up the legs with triangling the legs when on guard, on full guard, on top mount. So he has all those tricks, and for a big guy, when big guys are impressive and heavy, but when something heavy falls to the canvas, and you have those techniques, it's going to stay there. So I think Almeida is going to be able to stick it to
Jarzinho. Hmm.
Jairzinho Rozenstruik, keep him on the ground, and punish him with unforgiving shots. He being a lighter heavyweight is going to give him the advantage. He's going to permit him to move in and out of the pocket, dip down for the takedown, and make this look easy. He's going to make it look easy, and you can quote me on that. That's what I'm.
Okay.
No fear of scratching. I have the hammer, the yellow hammer of the gods right here, and I'm telling you, yellow
Wow.
hammer. This is my
Wow.
yellow hammer prediction.
This is
Almeida is going to make it easy. What's your prediction?
I'm just taking in this stunt. Jared just put the dog put together for all of us.
Yeah.
Whew. Yeah, this is pretty simple, pretty easy to me. I think just much like you, Jairzinho is going home on Saturday night, most likely with the first submission of his career, or if not, precisely what you described, a TKO for ground and pound, or a submission
Yeah.
is what I think. I think he's gonna be submitted. Jailton Almeida, as I was saying, black belt jiu-jitsu practitioner. The guy is a master at a craft that's, let's be frank, a lacking one in the heavyweight division. How many like black belt dangerous multiple submission bouts fighters do we got in that division? Because I think zero, because
Mhm.
maybe Curtis Blade may have some submissions. I would have to go and check every
Back in the
single.
day, Frank Mir, maybe,
Oh
he
yeah,
was a
no, no, no.
great
I'm
wrestler,
good. I'm
great
talking about
submission artist.
active. Right, 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 right,
Right
right.
now,
Not even
oh
period.
no,
Right,
you're
yeah,
right. You're right.
right
You're
now.
absolutely right.
The only one that can manage or manhandle everyone else on the ground is, we know it. Meh. You know what that
The
was?
goat.
That's right.
Yeah,
Eh,
John Jones,
the
baby.
goat. That's right. Which is,
The
to me,
goat.
which should be, if John Jones were to stick around for a little longer, it would be the great moves for this division. Keep Jelton Almeida, climbing up the ladder, then have John Jones sign a 3 contract fight, get him in the octagon with Stipe. He may beat Stipe, then get him with Pavlovich, which is a fight I really fucking want to watch. And then, if everything works out, Jailton has won all his bouts and John Jones continues at the top, then you make the mega fucking heavyweight fight, which would be John Jones against Jailton Almeida, because I think that fight would be probably one of the highest level MMA heavyweight
Yeah.
fights that we could watch. So again, this is
Yeah.
me kind of like mentally masturbating, as we say in Spanish, because I'm just putting together random, like a lot of things must happen for this plan of mine to come to fruition. But I will definitely love to see that. But Saturday night, the first step in that sort of plan is Jelton Almeida beating Jairzinho, and I truly believe he's gonna do it.
Yep, yep, that's right. So moving along down the fights, of course, we have Anthony
Mm-hmm.
Smith coming back after a little bit of a
Oof.
delay against
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker, who he has been, he's
One of my
training at
favorites.
SBG. He's training at he has an awful haircut. Those braids are awful,
Excuse
but
me.
and that beard, bro, it's just a bad combo. It's a douchebag combo, but I respect it.
Okay,
Which is a
as you
duality
should.
right there, as, as I should. Um, man, this guy has had, at the beginning, he was
Oof.
touted as he was going to be the guy that was going to take down
Yep.
John Jones at the 205 division, and then
Mm-hmm.
he got blasted and things didn't go his way. He got KO'd massively by Corey Anderson. He got beat by Nikita Krylov, and Thiago Santos beat him. Jamahal Hill beat him. So he's been mounting a little bit of a comeback. He beat Ion Cute Lava and
Cute
Paul
lava.
Craig. Cute Lava, yeah.
convincingly
Young Cute
also.
Lava and Paul Craig. So he's making a little bit of a comeback, but it stays at little because he's fighting Anthony Smith, and Anthony Smith is a different caliber of fighter. Anthony
It-
Smith is no joke.
Yep. No, I mean, it's at the end of the day, this fight, we know what Anthony Smith brings on the octagon. We know what he's capable. We know he'll be all hot. He'll be, sleek with his hands, potentially trying to take him down and score some takedowns on good old Johnny Walker. So to me, this fight is all about freaking Johnny Walker. What Johnny Walker are you we want to watch? Because
Yeah,
he seems to be kind of like being a little bit more, I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and say mature. Okay, maybe I'm speaking too fast, but he seems to be a little bit more composure. I mean, a little bit more, of a
measured.
veteran fighter with
Let's say.
with more fights under his belt. We saw that against Paul Craig. We saw that against Joe Goodlaw, but at the end of the day, they were one first round knockouts. So I think like Johnny Walker, it's gonna. I mean, I want to believe he's gonna win, but it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell because it's not like he is back to what he was, kind of like blasting everyone convincingly. He got caught against Paul Craig a little bit, not so much against Kutalaba, but still, I think I want to believe there's still hope, and Johnny Walker can be that contender we all saw in 2018, 2019 as a potential, champion
Yeah,
in the light heavyweight division. I think, and I hope he puts it on to Anthony Smith because I think he's a superior striker. I think I think no, I know he definitely has the large reach advantage. Let's not forget that freaking Johnny Walker is like 6'5" at 205, so he's taller
yeah,
than pretty much everyone else. On top of that, he has those humongous arms that he can crack with from like 2 meters away. So I think he could, if he was if he was showing us, if he was to bring his best version, he would be controlling Anthony Smith, inflicting pain and damage from early on to Anthony Smith, and potentially finishing him. But if he starts like going crazy, if he starts doing like the classic "ha ha ha, I'm the Joker" kind of deal, he may get knocked out or ground and pound to oblivion. So it's a bit of a coin toss to me. I hope though
yeah.
Johnny wins. Yeah. What do you think,
Yep. I
Garrett?
see.
When you
I
go when
see
you
what
go
I
and
see
see these
here.
two hand in hand, toe to toe.
I see Anthony Smith displayed a great jab on his last fight, on the fight,
On
especially
Kalaev.
on his fight with Jimmy Crute. He
Whoa.
had
Whoa.
great fight. He beat
Great low kicks too.
Ryan Span, who had a great hype behind him. Devin Clark,
Mhm.
he made it look easy on the fight with Ankalaev, which we all know it's a difficult fight, even for the mythical Polish power and known warlock, um and known
Wait,
warlock
is he a known
and
warlock? By known by who?
prac
Well,
a practitioner
all right.
of
All right.
magic.
Sure.
We all know
Oh,
the Jambla Howish talisman
oh,
story. We all know it, man.
we'll
It's
know.
black magic. So
Yeah.
you know it was a
That's
hard fight for him against Ankalaev. That fight's hard, and
yeesh.
he I think he blew out his knee. Anthony Smith blew out his knee, if you remember well, and then was grounded and pounded, but it was
Oh,
a knee
damn.
injury
Yeah, I
that took
forgot
him
about
out of
that.
that fight.
Mm,
It was a great fight. So
it
I
was.
think that
I
Anthony
mean,
Smith is going to be able to return to form. Johnny is great, but Johnny is very hittable. Johnny reminds me a lot of Stefan Struve, tall in the heavyweight, great tools, but you
bro.
just touch that chin and he goes down. That's the same thing for Johnny. I don't think you can train the chin. So I think Anthony Smith's going to be able to exploit that weakness and, land some great shots and just put him out of his misery early in the first round.
Shit.
KO,
Wow. First round
Lionheart
KO
comes
for
back.
Anthony Smith?
Yeah.
Lionheart?
Yeah, he can. Man,
Shit.
I've been next to Anthony Smith
Oh, that
um
changes everything. That
in
changes
in
everything,
Iowa.
obviously.
In Iowa,
You know,
that guy's big and he's mean. He's a mean
wait.
MFer. Uh, nice guy, mean fighter.
Ah.
And
Ah, okay,
there's
got it.
things he goes for it. So I think that we're gonna see a great victory by Anthony Smith. He comes back to form and he beats Johnny Walker, who's training at SBG with John Kavanagh.
Mhm.
A friend of the show. He follows me on Twitter, John Kavanagh. So just dropping and just dropping it here, John Kavanagh. Shout out Johnny K. We close. So
That's how you call
um,
him. I gotcha. Noted.
Johnny K.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good. So we have here on this fight card, of course, we have more interesting fights. We
Oh
have
yeah.
Ian Gary, the pride of the Irish pride, coming
Yeah.
in
The
against
successor.
Daniel
The successor.
Rodriguez. The future, his name is that's his name. The future, Ian Gary, great striking. He has a bit of a run. He's beat Williams, Weeks. He beat Green and he beat Keenan on his last fight. So he's fought people that are not no names, but are
That's
kind
right.
of lower level.
Well,
So he's
well,
fighting. He's let's They were brought in for him. Let's be completely and fully honest.
of course.
And he's
Yep.
gonna fight Daniel Rodriguez, who's gritty, who's beat Jing
Fuck
Yang, who's
yeah.
beat Kevin Lee, who's beat Mike Perry, he's beat Parsons. So he's a dog. Daniel Rodriguez is a
Literally.
dog.
Perfectly put.
So I think that man, I like to Ian Gary's great. What I've seen in his fights,
Hmm.
um, he can get cracked, and people have cracked him, but have not had the power behind it. So I think Daniel Rodriguez has the a little bit more volume. His defense is a little bit better. Take that defense is good enough. Ian Gary, great striking. I guess he's a fair grappler, but I think that it's a mistake. D Rod is a dog. Um, I don't think D Rod is ranked at this moment, but I think he can crack Ian Gary and put him in really difficult situations. So I think this is a Sean O'Malley versus Chito Vera type of
Whoa.
scenario.
Okay.
W- We're gonna
Uh,
see the first
elaborate.
cracks in Ian Gary, and I think it lasts the whole 3 rounds. And D Rod makes it look ugly. Ian
Shit.
Gary's gonna bleed in there, and I think D Rod's gonna maybe take a decision here. How do you see
Wow.
this going?
Well, I am, on the contrary, I am hopeful or confident, I guess. I think, and by that I mean Oni Gary. Daniel Rodriguez is definitely a dog. He's got a wonderful life story, a guy who comes from a rough place, who got out of it just by sheer fighting strength, and
Mm,
who arrived in the UFC quite late. He's already 36 and he's been fighting in the promotion for only a couple of years, actually from 2023 years. So he's definitely a guy that deserves every single thing he's gotten inside the octagon. Now he is well known, and we've seen him time and time again fighting battles in there, like getting into scraps, a slugfest, hitting but receiving a bunch, and taking a few losses on the way. The last fight, he took too much heat and was submitted by Neil Magny. So I think
mhm.
um he's got some stuff going on for him, but he's got a lot against him. I think Ian Gary has better cardio. Ian Gary is way taller than him. He's got better striking,
Good
and
point.
he's just faster on top of it all. So if he's on his A game, if he's able to fight like with that wide stance he loves to fight, throwing, letting his legs go, throwing punches when he has to, and beware of not getting cracked, which he did with that Asian fella. What was his name? The one he fought, that he was dominated, but all of a sudden he ate a hand that almost put him with his butt on the canvas.
I
If
remember.
Daniel Rodriguez does that, he may get him like hurt real bad, because Daniel Rodriguez is a beast. So Song Kinang was the guy, Chinese martial artist. There you go. So I think unless that happens, Ian Gary should be winning this fight. This should be a great challenge for him. An opponent that is definitely a step above what he's faced so far. So I think is perfect for him. He is, of course, 25 only yet. already with
Mhm.
5, 6 fights under his belt in the UFC. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fights, 5 with the one that he's facing on Saturday in the promotion. We all
Mhm.
know Tito Dana. What does love
10
Tito
years
Dana
10
more than
years younger.
anything? Oh, Tito
A
Dana.
young
Tito Dana has
superstar,
been
a young Irish superstar. He loves them.
that's what he does. That's what he loves. And this guy, he's got a lot going on for himself. Again, he's taller than McGregor. He's blonder than McGregor. He also is married to a Machado, like a good old dynasty of jiu-jitsu mixed martial arts in this in
Mhm.
Brazil. So he's got a lot going on for himself. And I think if he keeps progressing, he can be a contender. So to me, this fight, if I have to choose, I choose Ian Gary for potentially and probably a KO in the later rounds, second, third round.
Interesting, interesting. You poke some holes in my prediction, and
Not
I
not to
think
not
that
to be a female to you, not to be a female
that
dog to
injects a
you,
little bit of
but
doubt. That injects a little bit of that, and I like it. I like it.
okay,
It makes keeps me on my toes.
I'm here for you, Jared.
So
I'm here for you.
another interesting fight, and I say a fight that goes close to our heart is Matt Brown against Court McGee. Uh,
Oh,
two old two old
so
grizzled dogs
that's right.
going
This
at it.
guy's hard.
Two old grizzled dogs, and I see this. This is a great fun fight. No, hey, let's get close. Nobody's gonna be the champion here. Nobody's gonna fight for the belt, but this is just a gritty, fun. You know what I would do? I would put graffiti down on the floor. I would put a couple of New York trash cans on fire inside that octagon. Maybe have a homeless guy in the corner, a brick wall, because this is like a street fight. This is gonna be like a
It's like a
gritty,
street fight in the 90s. Gotcha. In the 90s action
yeah,
movie. Got it.
an
Got
action.
it.
Oh, this is a great fight. They should wear like leather. You remember that video "Beat It" by Michael Jackson? Just
Michael who?
beat it.
Yeah, yeah,
Michael
yeah.
Jackson.
Mhm.
Beat it. No
Yeah.
one would
Wait,
beat it.
Jared. Are we supposed to like Michael
Oh
Jackson? Hold on.
no. Just a song. Just a song. Because
No. Yeah,
they
well,
had a
if you're mentioning the song, you're liking him. I remember, like, what are we with the cancellation? With the cancellation policy here?
I don't know. I'm just talking about the song.
Well, the song
Song.
is sung by the guy you are praising. I
No,
don't know.
no,
I
no.
just wanna, I just wanna get
I'm
even
a
hot
drummer.
water.
I'm a drummer. Look, a drumstick always at an arm's length to drum.
Okay, all
And
right. How does that relate to? Okay.
Bill Sugarfoot Wallace, my favorite drummer, is the drummer on the track, on the Beat It track. So that's why I love that song.
Ah,
So
got it.
they should wear like leather vest, and just duke it out. Somebody should throw a knife in there. It's
Wow.
it's a great
Damn.
fight. And I think here's my prediction. I think nobody loses. The fans get a great, gritty fight. And this is my real prediction. I think Matt Brown puts it on Kurt McGee. Kurt McGee is great. Both of them are, in great shape for their age, and they'll put in a fun fight. What do you think happens in this one?
Well, I mean, see, yeah, these are a bit of a more old school fighters, so I don't have them, as well zoomed into my radar. I've only seen them I've only watched them fight a couple of times, but in this occasion, I think I'm gonna go with you. Kurt McGee looks amazing, but when we saw him in the last fight, he was a little bit, not there, and he got KO'd, if I recall right. So, I think Matt Brown fought like a dog against Brian Barbarena. I think it was his fight. Remember, they duke it out. It was like round after round of banging, and he came out on top. So if he was able to defeat Brian Barbarena, he should be able to defeat Court McGee, I think. So in my opinion, much like the doc, I think Matt Brown takes it. Yeah, and he
Elbows.
could,
Just
he could
damn.
take
Yeah.
it for
So
a TKO. Yeah,
Matt Brown has the nastiest elbow. That elbow on Diego Sanchez. I remember when they fought Diego Sanchez against Matt Brown.
shit. How long ago
Diego
was that?
Diego Sanchez throws a kick. Matt Brown catches it, just walks him down and plants boom a nuclear elbow on Diego, and Diego just flips over and just dies for a couple of seconds. And that was a great moment. That a great
Mm.
UFC moment. So yeah, I'm excited about seeing Matt Brown. I mean,
Also,
that there's
Mhm.
there's great fighter. There's great, you got Carlos Ulberg against Ihor
Yeah.
Potieria,
Yo weren't gonna
Natan
mention you love
Levy.
what's happening. Yeah, you love Carlos Ulber. I thought it was
Carlos-
it's el niño de tus ojos. It's kind of like
He's a good
one of your
guy.
faves. No, you're not gonna say anything about him.
He's a great fight. He got put in his place in early in his career by Kennedy Nzechukwu,
Ooh,
which put
another
him
fave
in
of the
his
show.
place. But he's a great fighter. He trains with Stylebender down in New Zealand. Great fight. But I'm looking more at Nathan Levi, who's a great
Levy. Mhm,
fighter. He's going against
mhm,
Pete Rodriguez. So look out for Nathan or Nathan. I don't know how you pronounce it. He's one of my two fights to watch. But other than that, I mean, this is a great fight card. Like I always say, these fight cards are housekeeping for the UFC. We got to see who moves forward and who goes on to bigger and better things. Put out a little bit of content on UFC.com and on ESPN.tv and move forward. So what's your what do you think is going to be? And this is a new question I'm bringing.
Okay. Okay.
What do you think is going to be the biggest moment in this fight card? What's the
Holy
biggest? What
shit.
fight is going to have the biggest moment?
What fight is gonna have the biggest moment? I definitely think
We
the
got to
main
bring
event.
something new.
I think
Main event.
Jailton
Okay.
Almeida. I think Jailton Almeida is gonna shake it up. In the Epic. This is in the Epic Center, isn't it? No shit. It's in Charlotte, Spectrum Center in Charlotte, North Carolina. I think Jailton Almeida is gonna show the world with a solid top 10 opponent what he's capable of. He's gonna put it on Jairzinho, and he's going to be winning the fight of the night. Yep.
That's good. That's good. I
What about
think
you?
I think
What
we're
about
gonna
you, Jared?
see. I think we're gonna see the biggest moment on the Ian Gary, Daniel Rodriguez.
Boom.
This is one of the biggest contenders, or
Mm.
one of the faces that the UFC wants to push, and he needs a big, iconic win to make that jump over into McGregor status. And I think this is a make or break it. So either way, he wins, he jumps out and stands out of the crowd, but he loses, and he has, like I said, a Chito Vera versus Sugar Sean O'Malley moment. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
There
So yes,
you
that's
go.
that fight. There you go. That's that fight card. Thank you, all that got connected here, of course. And if you're seeing this in the clips, God damn it, give us a follow, give us a subscribe. Don't be stingy. This is the only place that you get information from a ringside physician and a professional producer of the History Channel, close friend of Georgia Tsoukalos. I mean, what else can you expect? And like we always say at the end of the show, we love you con cojones, which means we love you with our balls.
With our balls. Which is not easy to do.
Which is the right way to love. So until
100%.
the next